Hi everyone, Nichole here. I want to share a story with you about my time when I was in America, Redding, California. It's been 3 years since I was there, and 3 years this month since I was there. And that time was, whenever people would ask me, oh, how was it? I always say it was the best and worst time of my life. And July is a hard month for me. I just can't wait for it to be over now. And I do hope that to make some different kind of memories in July, so that when July comes, I can think of it in a different way. Because now I just hate July and I just want it to be over. And I struggle a lot with many thoughts and other traumas in my life that are related to what happened when I was in California. It relates to something else about me, which may cause some people to maybe not want to have anything to do with me anymore, which is fine. That just goes to show what type of person you are. One moment. Sorry about that. Mother was just calling me. So that really will just show really the type of person that you are. But this is just to share what happened in California, and I guess to kind of, it will give a bit more about me as well, who I am as a person, and basically to say that I'm not ashamed of who I am either. When I came back from California, some people learnt what happened. I didn't tell many people at all, because it was just a horrible thing, to be truthfully honest. And I always knew that eventually I would share it. And I just feel like now is the time. I couldn't sleep last night. Oh, my belly's rumbling, sorry. I couldn't sleep last night. One, because I was having a really horrible flare-up with my head, but two, because I was just having really horrible memories of it, and I was just bothered very, very badly, again, in the night. So here we go. Let me just, I think the light has just gone down. Oh, I think it's okay. Okay, so when I was in California, and I am going to be using names. I mean, everybody, you guys know me, I'm Nichole, and I'm going to be using names because, to be truthfully honest, I just don't think that it should matter, to be honest. My name is out there, used, you know me, so why should their names be protected or hidden? So I will be using names. Sorry, I got fluff in my mouth. I arrived in Redding, California on the 30th of June, I think it was. I don't even remember the date. The 30th of June. Yes, the 30th of June, I think I arrived. Oh gosh, long journey, long journey, but amazing. And I drove there. I drove in America. I drove for the whole month, and that was just amazing. Amazing roads. I miss driving in America. I really, really do. And still to this day, when I'm in a car, I think I should be on the other side of the road, and I still get confused. It's really weird. But oh gosh, absolutely amazing. I really miss the roads in America. But anyway, yes, I arrived. I was the first to arrive in the house that I was staying in. Beautiful bungalows, beautiful, very, very beautiful. The bungalows are amazing over there. And I was the first to arrive. There was three girls, three of us, Ariel and Zoe. And yes, I was the first to arrive. I was there a week before the school started. So I went there for a worship course, 2-week worship course. And I wanted to stay there also just to, do a bit of, not like traveling so much, but just to be able to have a little bit of a holiday, you could say. So I spent a week beforehand just doing whatever, and a week after the school just doing whatever. So I was there a week beforehand, and the weekend before school started, I picked up Ariel from the airport, and she and I got on so well. I think we were literally like best friends. We got on so well. We just laughed at each other and just found the same things funny. It was just really, really nice. And even before getting to America, me, Ariel and Zoe, we had our own group chat. So we were talking for months before we got to America. So we were getting to know each other beforehand, which was really, really nice. I apologize if you hear my belly rumbling. I'm just going to keep talking and ignore it, but I apologize. But we had our own group chat, which was really, really nice. But because I know what America is like when it comes to homosexuality, which is where people will learn a bit about me. I know what America is like when it comes to homosexuality. So I'm not somebody who puts it out there that I am a bisexual woman. I don't just put it out there, and I'm not like, hey, I'm bisexual. You wouldn't know. I've had a lot of people just kind of judge me from the way that I look, and just assume that I'm a lesbian or something. And it's kind of like, well, what's a lesbian supposed to look like? But that type of thing. It's just meh, whatever. But because I know what America is like when it comes to homosexuals, it's not that I put my sexuality out there, but I was just more aware of it. And, there was a part of me that was just like, if I get to know these girls really, really well, I would love to be able to talk to them about it. It would be really nice to share that with them. But until then, I'm just not going to do anything that would even make them think, is she something, because, just the way that I look, people have just judged me from the way that I look and wondered if I'm a lesbian or bisexual or something. So, it's weird how people just judge on the way that you look. So I was very, very aware of that. We, so we were just talking. It was, great and everything. And me and Ariel had a really, really great relationship. And then I think like the next day I picked up Zoe. That was fine. Got to know each other. I felt that Zoe was a bit more, what's the word? Not preserved, reserved. I always get the words confused, but you know what I mean. I always get them confused, always. But yeah, I felt like she was that word. And so, I was just like, okay, that's cool. That's absolutely fine. I didn't judge her for it or anything, I just I was fine with it. It didn't bother me or anything. The first week of school, very, very tough. Too much talking, man. So much talking. Wasn't as practical as they made it out to be on the website, just saying that. But towards the end of the week, I could tell that Ariel and Zoe were acting really strange towards me. And I was like, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening here. There were a couple of times where I made a couple of jokes. I made one joke about masturbation. And I actually did apologize about it immediately. They laughed about it, but I did say, oh, sorry. You know what, guys, I'm sorry for that joke. I don't actually masturbate, but I'm sorry. I don't want you guys to feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry. And they were like, no, it's fine. And then we moved on and I completely forgot about it. And then it was very, very hot. It was very, very hot over there. And every now and then there was a bit of dancing that would go on during worship. So I wanted to have some wipes so I could freshen up whenever I wanted to. And I remember one time we had a bit of a dance and I made a joke saying, oh, I'm glad I brought those wipes. And it's really annoying because Ariel thought that I said, I'm glad I shaved my vagina. Yes, this is a bit explicit. And it's really annoying because I couldn't remember what I said, so I couldn't correct her. But a few days later, I remembered what I said, but by that time, we weren't actually talking. So I just couldn't correct her. But, I just thought that's, in my mind, that's a fine joke to make. But she heard something else completely different. So, I mean, to be honest, I was glad that I shaved my vagina. I'm not going to lie, because it was flipping hot. But I'm, a little annoyed that I couldn't remember what I actually said, and I remembered a few days later, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, so the joke that she thought I had made offended her. But it wasn't actually the joke I'd made. But anyway, towards the end of the week, they were acting strange towards me. And so when I had Ariel to myself, I just said to her, Ariel, have I offended you? Have I said something that has upset you or anything? Because, I would like to know. And she said, no, you haven't done anything or said anything. And I would tell you. And I was like, okay, cool. And that whole weekend leading up to the second week of school, they were just weird. They were just weird, really strange. And then the Sunday, I had to sort out the car that I had because it was faulty. And so I had to stay all day and wait for somebody to come and collect the car and take me back to Sacramento to collect another car. They said they were going out for a couple of hours, and they were actually out all day. Like, I left late in the day and they were out all day. And then I came back at 1 a.m. to a flower pot thing and a letter saying, we've decided to move out for different circumstances or something. We love you. It's nothing against you. And I was like, clearly it is me, but I don't know why. I was really upset because actually I had come in and I really wanted a hug from my friends because I had just driven 4 hours to go and collect a car, and then I had driven 4 hours back in my new car. So I was pretty tired and so I just went to bed. And then the next day I'd spoken to some other friends and I'd said, they've moved out and I don't understand why. I think it's because of me. And my friends were amazing. And they said, Nichole, it's probably not because of you. But, deep down, I just was like, I know it's because of me. And they messaged me in our group chat and said, can we talk to you at lunchtime? So I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. They told me that they decided to move out because of my masturbation joke and because of the shaved vagina joke, which I couldn't remember, which I thought I had said because she said I said it, but then I remembered later on I actually didn't say that. And I was like, okay, if that's the reason why you want to move out, then that's fine. But just know that, that's me. I kind of make those jokes, but it's also cultural differences. It's cultural differences. We can't do anything about that. But if that's the reason why you want to move out, then that's fine. And they were saying, we still love you. We still want to be your friend. And I was sat there and they just carried on talking about other stuff involving me in the conversation. But I just sat there and was just like, this doesn't feel right. So I decided to dismiss myself. And then Becky, who owns the home that we were staying in, I told her and I said to her, they've decided to move out because of a couple of jokes I made. Must be cultural differences. But, I'm still here or whatever. And the woman, Becky, was fuming at me. She was literally like shouting at me through text. And I didn't understand why she was so mad. And she said, how dare you disrespect people in my home and saying all of this stuff. And I was thinking, disrespect by a couple of jokes. Okay. And I was just like, I'm really sorry that I disrespected them. But she was really going at me, and her messages were just constant, really going at me, just mad, mad, mad. And she said, I'll talk to you. She was, I think, on holiday at this time or something. And she was like, I'll call you the next day. So on the Tuesday, finally I spoke to Becky and we were on the phone. She finally had stopped having a go at me. And she said, you do know what they said, Nichole? And I said, no, I don't. What did they say? They told me they moved out for these reasons. What did they say to you? And I won't say what they said, but they actually told Becky that I had done inappropriate sexual things to them. And I was like, what? I had another friend with me, Sarah, who's one of my best friends, who had been just coming to my side and just being there for me. And I was in the foyer area of the school, and I was hysterically crying that people just came round to me and put their hands on me and were just praying. They didn't know what was going on, but they were just praying for me because I was hysterical, because I had these two people that were my really good friends lie to me, tell me the reason why they moved out, which may not have even been the actual reason. I mean, that might have been the actual reason they moved out. I don't know. But they told Becky that I did sexual inappropriate things towards them. And I was just disgusted, absolutely disgusted. And I found out that they'd been searching on my Facebook to try and find out my sexuality. And they were saying, you know, it says that she's bi, but there's nothing else on her profile to say that she is, and things like that. And I was like, oh, wow. So they've actually been searching on my social media to try and find out what I am. Instead of just talking to me, they've just, for some reason, judged me. And me personally, I don't think that those jokes I made would make somebody think that somebody is gay or straight or lesbian or bi. They're not jokes that make you think somebody is a different sexual orientation. So I think that I was just judged again by the way that I look. I honestly believe that Zoe had something to do with it. I think that she put something in Ariel's head, because as soon as Zoe came, Ariel did start to change towards me. And she clearly wasn't honest, even when I gave her the chance to be. And I went to the leaders of the school and told them about this. There was one guy in the school who, when I first met him, he was like, I love you, you're amazing. And he was great to me. And we got him involved. And he was like literally and then he got another girl, I think her name was Kirsty. He was called Dante. And I'm sure the woman that he got was called Kirsty. Those two were amazing. But we got the leader of the school involved. And to be honest, I don't even remember her name. One of the Valentins, Valentin's wife. I don't remember her name, and it's probably best I don't, because probably saying it will just piss me off, to be honest. I told her about it, and she said, well, you need to understand why they would want to move out. And I said to her, but I don't understand because I did nothing. And she said, but you should understand why they would want to move out. And I said, no, I don't understand because I did nothing. And again, I apparently needed to understand why they wanted to move out. And I, to this day, don't understand, because I'm somebody who will own up to things that I do. And this is something that I know I did nothing to make them want to move out. They lied about... They said that I hung around without a top on and with just little knickers on or something. I wore boxer shorts and a top when I needed to go to the kitchen to cut some bits of clothing up. We're a house full of girls. We should be comfortable in doing that. And even when I didn't want actually anybody to see, because I was like a bit like, how will they feel? But we're a house full of women. I'm actually still dressed appropriately. I'm not actually showing anything inappropriate to you. And when I was actually seen by Zoe, I said to her, sorry that I thought, just in case, I'll just say sorry that you're seeing me like this. They decided to go to Becky and say that I was actually showing too much, which I wasn't. So that was one of the things that they said, but I won't say any of the others because it just is gross. But I, to this day, will not say that I did anything wrong, because I didn't do anything wrong. And I told the Valentin, whatever her last name is, I told her that I'm a bisexual woman, but nobody needed to know that or anything. Nobody needed to know. On the form when you apply, they ask you a question about sexuality, but the way that they word it, if you say yes, you're basically saying that you, what's the word I'm looking for? You're basically saying that you seek to be with same-sex relationships and everything. So I just put no, because I wasn't seeking that. I was a single girl. I am a single girl, but I was a single woman not seeking anything. So I didn't answer yes because I wasn't seeking a same-sex relationship. So the way that they word it, I thought this is actually really dodgy. And I thought, why are they wording it like this? So when the woman said, Nichole, you lied on your application. You said that you weren't, like bisexual or anything. I said to her, actually, the way that you word it is actually asking if you seek to be in same-sex relationships. I don't seek to be in same-sex relationships. So maybe you lot should change the way that you word your applications. And if you are going to ask that question, you should maybe give a section where people can give their own information. And she was like, okay, thank you for your honesty. So I was like, they need to be told. I'm sat there being blamed for things that I'm not doing. And she asked, what I would like to have done. And I said, I want those girls, I want Zoe and Ariel to be brought into this room so I can ask them why they have said that I've done these things to them, because it's disgusting. I want to find out why they have lied, why they have said this. Nothing was ever done. You get put into groups and stuff depending on which country you came from. And my group leaders, I hate to say it, they were useless. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. They were useless. They were called from work and they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. Dante and the woman Kirsty and the people that came and put their hands on me and prayed for me that I didn't even know were the ones that really were amazing. And some of those people are still my friends. I've got pictures of them up on my wall and I love them and miss them so much. And I made a complaint actually about it to the school, and the school was interested to hear this complaint. But when I told them what it was, and when I said, you guys really need to be trained in how to deal with these topics, yada, yada, did I hear anything back? No, I didn't, because they got told. So it was very hard coming back home. I hate the month of July, but I don't let it take over. Unfortunately, last night, I have times like that. Even throughout the year, I have times like that where it does take over and it's like, oh my gosh, I just can't sleep. I just have to watch something on YouTube. But I have nothing to be sorry for. And being bisexual, I'm not ashamed of. There are whole other issues around sexuality that I could go into, but I don't want to make this video another half an hour. But I am happy with who I am. Especially this year, I've gone through some attack in regards to homosexuality, and it's really actually kept me grounded. And I really feel like God is saying, this is who you are, Nichole. Don't let anybody try and make you feel like you shouldn't be this. And it's weird because I feel so much more secure in it. And I really do feel like the things that I was taught growing up in church, I believe it's wrong. Especially reading between the lines, it's just wrong. And I'm not going to change who I am to fit anybody. So that's what I went through in America. I went through a lot of attack for what I believe really was just the way I looked. And I was just judged by the way I looked, which caused people to find out if I'm gay. And it just led to disgusting lies being said about me that if police were involved, I would have been arrested for. That's how bad it was. That's how bad the lies were. And things like that are absolutely disgusting. Really, really disgusting. And there are people that go through that. Sexual assault is not something to mess around with. It's not something to lie about. I've done a couple of videos on my assault, which happened a year and a half later. I've been, sexually assaulted even before what happened in America. Not on the level I was after, but, it's not nice. And to have people lie and say that you've done it to them and then nobody is supporting you. Well, I had people that supported me, but the people in higher authority that could actually do something and bring these girls to say, look, this is what you've said, yada, yada, it's just disgusting when something can be done and it's not. It's so wrong. So the month of July is tough, and I really hope to change that. So that's what I went through in Redding, California. Bethel has definitely changed over the last few years since I've been there. I read up on their journey, and it's not one I agree with. Their music is amazing, I won't lie, but it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. And what I went through there is very disappointing, especially when they talk about love so much and family and acceptance. I didn't experience that at all. I was really treated like the criminal that I wasn't. So I really hope that if you listen to this video, if you are listening to this video, that, anybody that that goes through something like this, or even just bad treatment for their sexuality, not necessarily being lied about, just support them and be there for them, because it's not very nice when you're alone. I eventually did have amazing people come to my rescue, who sang over me and prayed for me, and didn't judge me and didn't care that I was bisexual or that I am bisexual. They didn't care. But it happens and it's really horrible. So just look out for your homosexual friends. Thank you for listening. Anybody who's watched this who is freaked out that I'm bisexual, you can delete me, it's fine. I really don't mind. I'm still me, and I'm very happy with who I am. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye.